afternoon, my dear student. How are you? I hope all of you are fine. Now, again, we start that the fast that we already discussed is all the portion from your history book. That is the fast, the Mesopotamian civilization that we already discussed, and also the second one is Egyptian civilization, and the third is the Indus Valley civilization. Now, today, just once again, we have to rewind the chapter. So today I discuss about the Mesopotamian civilization. So you read this one civilization. So before we enter into the particular civilization, we at first know about the civilization. That how came the civilization. That the civilization is the term. That what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this term civilization? That the civilization means when the two or more people with their settlements, when they start to live in a particular place, this area is known as the settlement. Now the settlements are very important for us because due to this settlement, people became a more step into their advancement. And also this Mesopotamian civilization, why it is important for us? Because this civilization, it also been very important because Mesopotamian civilization is the first civilization in the world. That is why Mesopotamian civilization is very important for us. And why it's known, you know what is that called? The Mesopotamian civilization is also called the cradle of civilization. What is the meaning of cradle of civilization? Why it is called cradle of civilization? Because the Mesopotamian civilization is the first civilization that it occurred, that it established in the world for the first time. That is why Mesopotamian civilization is also known as the cradle of the civilization. Okay, these things. Now, afterwards, that we have to going to read about the two type of age. That when the people for the first time they start to live with their settlement. What are the two age? The first one is the Bronze Age, and second one is the Copper Age. Now, what is the Bronze Age? The Bronze Age, in which age that people start to use the bronze as a useful metal, and also they make on that time they prepare all the tools and the weapons from the bronze. This particular period of time in history is known as the Bronze Age. And what is the Copper Age? The same things that in which age, and you know that the copper was the first metal that discovered by the people, and the another name of the Copper Age is the Chalcolithic Age. And during which time or period when the copper was invented and people they use copper as a useful metal, this particular period of time is known as the Copper Age or the Chalcolithic Age. Now here that when we discuss about the civilization, so our first civilization that we discuss, that is the first one is the Mesopotamian civilization, and this civilization was being discovered from the 3500 BC to 600 BC during this time. And this civilization was where it located. This civilization is a river valley civilization. You know what is the meaning of the river valley civilization? Because all those are the civilization are being developed that beside the river. This type of civilization is known as the river valley civilization. Now the Mesopotamian civilization also it located between the two rivers. Which two river? Between the river Tigris and Euphrates. Between these two rivers, this Mesopotamian civilization was located. That is why this civilization is also known as the river valley civilization. And why on that time, why all the peoples and the civilization are made beside the river only? That time they have enough place, sufficient place. Why they not make their civilization? The other places why they found beside the river? What is the reason? Because that on that time the river help them in the many places. The first of all, beside the river, they gave the sufficient amount or the available amount of water from the river. The second is the river helped them for the better transportation and the communication way, because on that time people doesn't have the airways or the roadways, railways. So on that time the waterways is only the one way by which people can travel from one place to another place. And the third one is that beside the river when they are located, due to the irrigation purpose, people can use the river water when the rainfall is not occurring a sufficient amount. So the full year or the throughout of the year they can be able to do the agriculture process. And the next is their society. The Mesopotamian society is divided into the three parts. What are the three parts? The upper class, middle class and the lower class. Upper class they are consist those are the rich people, royal families and the kings. Well, they are belong from the upper class. Those are the middle class, those are the merchants or the traders, they belong from the middle class or the hard person. And the lower class, which person have belong? Those are the slavery type of person, they belong from the lower class. And their family system, they are the patriarchal in nature, and the father was the head of their family. That doesn't mean that only the male person or the father they get the respect. The women are also they get the respect, and the women they have the owner of their own property, and they can represent themselves as a witness in the court also. And also there are the others, their points, those are their division, their society division, or they are the architecture, their agriculture. Those are the main things that you have to be learned. And once you remember that the agriculture, town planning, so these are the points that are very important from this portion that I already discussed before. So that you have to remember one thing, that the agriculture, that one of the main occupation in the Mesopotamian civilization. Why I'm telling that agriculture was the main occupation? Because this is also the river valley civilization. As we know that those are the places are located beside the river, that the land it became very fertile. Why the land is very fertile? Because the land masses are made up by the sand, silt and alluvium soil that make the land very fertile for us. That is why the people getting the very helpful from it. And the third or second one is those are the others the achievements. Achievement, art crafts, their trades, business or their occupations. Their achievement is what are the things that are achieved by the Mesopotamian people. And they are the things like the sexagesimal, they are the main important parts of their Mesopotamian civilization and the architecture. That they are very famous about the architecture process, like the ziggurat, also the great hanging garden in Babylon. These are all the points that we have to be remembered. And the short note, those already the inside questions and exercise question that from here I already given to you. These all the question answers. I hope you have to practice it well and you have to learn it for your short questions and also all the long answers question also. So today I have to share. Next day I have to discuss the next session.